Hey, what's up, baby? DJ Hi Kevin here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive back into Premiere Pro. And I've been working with a buddy, Bobby, on some of his videos. And it gave me an idea to kind of work on some chroma keying, or what is commonly referred to as green screening. So today, we're going to spend some time in that space and learn how to do this as effectively as possible. So come on, let's jump into Premiere and check it out. All right, so by popular demand, I'm leaving my face here, picture in picture. So like I said, this is going to be kind of a quick one. And actually, just because I don't want to reveal the project other than you seeing it as Bobby Smash Up, I'm going to mute his audio. But so the goal of this is basically Bobby used the Instagram green screen tool. He recorded it and then he sent it over to me instead of us getting together and recording everything with a true green screen. So at first glance, I was a little worried about this. I'm not going to lie. Because there are so many colors built into that screen behind him, and also Bobby happens to be wearing sort of like a bluish gray shirt. But we're going to tackle this no problem, so let me show you how. First off, your workspace is of course going to be set up a little bit differently than mine, but what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the Effects panel. So if you don't have that open, you go under Window and you go down to Effects, or you can also hit Shift-7. In there, what we're going to do is, this is one of the easiest tools for finding tools that you use very often, is you can either make your own folder, or I really just type in the word key. So we're going to be using Color Key, which, as I mentioned, is how we refer to green screening in sort of the actual video space. Green screening or blue screening is just the common practice way of verbiaging color keying, because it was so popularized by the color green, because the goal is you highlight one single color that you are not wearing. So who in the weatherman world would ever wear lime green? So that's why we use green. That's why we use that really bright, vibrant blue. Really why you can use any color. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this color key. We're going to click and hold, and we're going to drop it onto the video. So right away, you can then see over here in the Effects Control panel. Again, if you don't see that one, then just Shift-5 or come to the Windows Effects Control. And then what you're going to do is you can see this color right here. That's going to be the color that we're going to use to key. So really simply, we're going to take this eyedropper and we're going to click in one of the dark squares. Then what we're going to do in order to see how effectively it's working, we're going to slowly increase. And as you can see, it's slowly taking over just about everything. And it may be effective simply only with this one color. But as you can see, as soon as we approach this 115 color tolerance mark, we start to seep into Bobby's shirt a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to back it off just a tad here. And we're actually going to drop another color key onto it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the eyedropper, and we're going to try and find just about the furthest color from the one we originally picked within that range. And now you can see we have sort of this light seafoam-ish green, and then this very light, almost robin's egg blue. And now we're going to do the same thing with the blue. And you can see it's literally coming up from the bottom, whereas the green came up from the top. So there we go. And we're going to leave it right there, because there is still that fine line of halo of green screening going around Bobby's head, his shoulders, and even down in his hand a little bit for right now. So first, let's just scroll through and see exactly what's happening here. So there's still a few little dots coming through, and they look to be mostly green. So we're going to bump that up a little bit more. Let's take a roll through again, and you can see that black background is holding pretty tight. Oh, what a face, brother. Let's pause it right there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use the other tools within Color Key. So this is edge thinning, which you can see it sort of takes away the edge a little bit. It finds basically where the chroma keying was cut off, and then it nudges it one way or the other. So we're going to actually put this back to 0 and maybe just bump it up to 1, because you can see it's, if we go in here and then we just tick down back to 0, you can see his ears there, and you can see it kind of starts to take away from his ears at around 3. So we're just going to leave it at 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to feather the edge a little bit. Never mind. We're going to back that up a little bit. I'm going the wrong direction. Okay, not feathering. We're going to go onto the blue, and we're going to thin the edge a little bit. And we're going to leave that one at 2. We'll leave it at 2. Let's see what the feathering does here. So what the feathering is supposed to do is sort of just like dissipate the color a little bit and kind of like fog it out. It's not working super well on this one for some reason, but maybe that's just has to do with some of the other settings that we have. And I'm going to just crank this tolerance right now. So there you go. I think that's probably like the best result that we can get. Now, with all this being said, this is nothing without something behind it, right? Well, first off, if you're doing this a lot, this is another quick little tip, something that I tend to do anytime that I make something a little more intricate like this. We have these presets in here, Bobby background. And basically what I did was, this is another video of him. I created Bobby background so that all I had to do was click and drag, and then it actually puts his face in the proper orientation as well. So what you can do is we can go back here. We go to video. We select all. So that's just in our effects control. We're going to right click on video. We're going to select all. And then we're going to right click on one of those effects. And we're going to hit save preset. So we'll leave it as color key preset. So now we're back in here. We have the color key preset. We're going to click and drag and plonk. There you go. Now this one obviously has some deeper areas that we have to get into a little bit. So that's just really playing around with all the tools that we've been messing with. You know, everything is going to be a little bit different. So you just got to take that little bit of extra time to make sure that everything gets as close to perfection as possible. Of course, at the end of the day, if you just want to send it, that's totally cool. But with me, with video, especially when I'm doing it for somebody else, I try to make sure that I cover every base possible. So yeah, there you have it. Just a simple way to learn how to remove backgrounds with color keys, how to create presets. But then additionally, we've created this color keyed instance here. What are we going to do with it? First off, I'm going to delete color key preset because I'll probably never use that one again. But we're just going to use this Bobby background preset that I made because the goal of this is for Bobby to be talking over the screen while there is stuff in the background as well. So in order to get that stuff in the background, very, very simply, we are going to drag up the Bobby video, the video that we want to be on top, because Premiere also uses layers similar to many other editing tools. And now we're going to take another video that we're going to layer into the background. We're going to paste it into this timeline from another one. And what we're going to do with that video is we're going to put it underneath Bobby's video. So the Chroma Key is working, baby. So Bobby, obviously I haven't edited all the videos or everything yet, but you can very clearly see that we have Bobby over top of the video, essentially superimposed. So that very simply is how to color key, how to do some more complicated color keying if it's a weird background, how to turn that into a single preset to make your workflow faster. And also, finally, of course, putting in those lower images so that you superimpose on top of something so that the Chroma Key is actually doing something. Color keying, whatever you want to call it, green screening, blue screening, superimposition. It's an effective tool to use specifically in the social media space that we all have to be in. If you're a content creator, this is probably pretty helpful for you. I know that basically every tool has some type of green screening on it right now, whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, etc., that you can create the videos. But if you really want to do some more extreme editing and use a more powerful editing tool like Premiere, then you want to be able to do them in your own way as well. So hopefully this has provided you some type of information as far as using Premiere. I think it's a great place to start for making videos and helping buddies out. If you did get anything from this, please, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, leave a comment about what you learned, or maybe something else that you'd like to see on the channel in the future. But if you could do me a super mega huge favor, hit that subscribe button. I'm really bad at asking for this help, but this is truly how I know that what I'm doing is helpful to anybody. So please hit that sub button. I'm so close to 1,000 right now. I can smell it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to keep making these videos because I appreciate you being here and I like to help and share some knowledge. Once again, thanks for being here. I appreciate you so much. Have a good one.